Welcome back, True Seeker. Aaron Rodgers spends as much time making commercials as he does playing football. He has that little jingle, the discount double check. This video is for all my critics, and it's called Are You a Fucking Retard? Double Check. And the way you'll know if you're a fucking retard is if you mouth off and dismiss what I'm about to show you. Most of you are definitely fucking retarded, and I'm about to issue the definitive diagnosis. Pay attention, dipshits. So, as I pointed out earlier this year, the Packers would lose to the Vikings. I said why they were going to lose that game. Aaron Rodgers ended up getting hurt in it. Notice Aaron Rodgers came back from the first time after the injury, losing, falling to 7-7. The day he was hurt was the day leaving 77 days left in the year. Green Bay equals 77. What Derek caught, who built the Gematria calculator, understand, Derek, when he found my work, thought that I was insane. But then he applied the code because he's not a lazy fucking loser, and he realized I was correct. And then he got inspired and he built this calculator that makes it easy for all of you lazy fucking losers to do the work. I used to have to do this shit by hand proving my points. Now you got a calculator that allows you to do it in moments. But most of you are so fucking worthless, you can't even type words into a calculator that automates it all for you. That's how fucking retarded you are. Retard, double check, in effect. Let's continue on. So Derek catches that the guy who hurt him, Anthony Barr, is born March 18th. And I talk about this date all the time. March 18th, the 77th day of the year. Why does it matter? The word Christ equals 77. Understand this entire code of letters and numbers is from the Bible. In the Bible, there's 318 mentions of the return of Christ. 318. Now, who created the calendar system we're on? Was it the Catholic Church? Yes, it was, named after Pope Gregory. Why would they make March 18th the 77th day of the year? Well, here's exactly why. Because our entire calendar is synced up with this code of letters and numbers. And guess what? At the same time the Gregorian calendar was created, English was becoming modernized as we now know it. We're living out an agenda. Big part of that agenda is rigged sports. Why? Because it distracts the manpower of the worthless fucking retards, which we're doing the double check for right now. Are you following, fucking retards? I know we went above 5, so you probably lost count. Count on your fingers real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you keep going, retard, the next number's 6. Stick around, you might learn something. So here we go. Aaron Rodgers said he was going to lose to the Vikings for a very specific reason. Little bit more. From the date of his fake injury, which was October 15th, to the day he came back, 63 days later. 63, I know that's bigger than 5, but trust me, it's a real number. Aaron Rodgers equals 63. Freemasonic 63. It's Freemasonry running the show. In the English extended cipher, broken collarbone, which he's had before, 558, same as Aaron Rodgers. Fake injury by the numbers. Aaron Rodgers came back for his 158th game, which he lost yesterday. Freemasonry 158. Packers got the big G in the middle of their helmet. G7. 77 the code. Now they're 7-7. Discount double check, retards. 77. Are you following? Secret Society 77. United States 77. Now follow this, dipshits. September 11th, when you write it out as a word, sums to 77. Same with World Trade Center. On that date, Flight 77 hit the 77-foot tall Pentagon on the 77th meridian exactly 77 minutes after taking off. It's all a fact. The Pentagon built September 11th, 1941. That's the day construction started. Not a coincidence, retards. The reason I said the Packers would lose the day they did is because it was a date with numerology of 42. That was the day Rodgers was hurt. With a Packers loss, they would become 4-2, and with the Vikings winning, which they did, they would become 4-2. It was easy to see. That's exactly what happened. Rodgers came back 9 weeks later. 9 is a word, has gematria 42. Like the big G. like Freemason. You following? Probably not, because you're fucking retarded. So, for a little more 42 action, yesterday, the Packers farm team, which is the Seattle Seahawks. You know, to believe that pro sports are real, you have to believe that the general managers who run these teams are fucking retarded. Do you remember what the situation was with Marshawn Lynch when the Bills let him go? The Green Bay Packers had the number one waiver priority in the NFL, and their whole problem with their team that year was they didn't have a running back. They had Aaron Rodgers, who was killing it. They didn't have a running back. And the story was, wow, are the Packers going to get Marshawn Lynch and become unstoppable? Now, if you're interested in winning football games, of course you're going to pick up Marshawn Lynch. He's the most powerful running back in the league. He was a young man back then. But no. The Packers decided they didn't want him. He had attitude problems. So the Seahawks got him and became a championship team. You know, they had the beast mode quake by the numbers, all that bullshit. Anyway. Now we're on to the farm team for the Packers, which are the Seahawks. A lot of relationships between that team beyond Marshawn Lynch. Yesterday they got wasted in their house, where all these fucking retards think they have some influence on the game. They all wear these jerseys with the number 12. The word fan equals 12. Cross out the N, add a G. That's what every last one of you are. Period. Okay? You like watching men in tights and rigged football? You're an FAG. I can't say that word anymore. YouTube will censor it. These videos are only allowed for little girls. You gotta talk about how the earth's flat like you're some kind of fucking retard, or upload a cat video, otherwise they're censoring this shit. Anyway, Seahawks got wasted in their own building by the numbers. 42-7. This game was 40-0, and I joke with my girlfriend. I said, watch him get a safety and win with 42. Oh my God, it happened. Here's why 42 matters. Seahawks equals 42. Washington's the 42nd state. Think about it. Freemason 42, significant number. 49 combined points. Washington equals 49. So does NFL. So does Super Bowl. This game was 49 days before the Super Bowl. And I don't expect the Los Angeles Rams to represent. But keep in mind, LA Rams has gematria of 98. And Los Angeles Rams has gematria of 52. Here we are in the season of Super Bowl 52. Minnesota equals 52. They're hosting the game. It's also the 98th season of the NFL. In case you're new, down below in the description, like every video, link the Gematrinator calculator. Plug and play here. Go to calculator. Just stick to your 4-base ciphers. LA Rams, 98. Los Angeles Rams, 52. Also 83 like football. And like I pointed out last year, they returned to Los Angeles for the 97th season of the league, reopening the Coliseum. Last year was the 97th season. 97's the 25th prime. They moved the touchback to 25 yards. What did I tell you fucking retards way before the Super Bowl was played? It was all for the Patriots. It was all about 25. Brady'd get his 25th playoff win. The AFC'd get their 25th Super Bowl on 2/5. They ended up doing it over the Falcons 25. The Pope blessed the Super Bowl last year. Tom Brady's a Jesuit. Matt Ryan's a Jesuit. The Pope's a Jesuit. You know, Atlanta's on the 84th meridian. Yesterday, airport fire on Pope Francis's birthday in Atlanta. Arthur Blank, who owns the Falcons, a Jesuit, has the Jesuit Order's birthday, September 27th. You guys can't even count to 5, so I probably lost you a long time ago, but I'm trying to tell you what's going on in the world. You know? You think the NFL is real, you're clearly fucking retarded. You know? It's the only way to think this league's real. Now, what have I been educating about nonstop since 2014 when I first made the realization? Talked about this 1,000 times. Tom Brady and the number 35. Go through his career, see how many times he's finished his game with 35 passing attempts. Did it again yesterday. 35 passing attempts in the controversial win in Pittsburgh. Tom Brady equals 35, born on a date with 35 numerology. This year, the Super Bowl's on the 35th day of the year, February 4th. Tom Brady equals 98, Patriots 98, New England Patriots 98, 98th season of the NFL. They opened the season against the Kansas City Chiefs, 98. I pointed out then, I said New Orleans Saints, one of the only other 98 teams. I said look for them to have a good year, 98. You got the Vikings hosting. They got a 98 connection, you know? 98. Told you before the season began, look for teams with that number. Look for them to do things. LA Rams doing things. Tom Brady at age 40 doing things. 35 passing attempts. It's a joke. Their leading receiver had 168 yards. Again, all of these games are scripted from the final score to the box score. Massachusetts 168. Patriots became 8-2 in the regular season with Tom Brady against the Steelers. New England Patriots also 82. You see? And if the NFL was real, all you guys are so upset about this controversial ending. Look, the whole thing's a fucking script. If the NFL's real, Juju is not running 50 yards down the field with this scenario right here. Do you know how to play football? I grew up playing all sports. All you do when you got a runner up against the sideline is you smash their ass out of bounds. What did these two fairies do? Hardly even touch Juju, let him run right by on the sideline. Bullshit, but you see this every week in the NFL because it's a scripted puppet show that only fucking retards can't see through. Are you kidding me? Two defenders right here and they couldn't knock Juju out of bounds? It's because that was the script to let him run by for this exciting finish. And then how did the finish end? Hold on, before we get to the finish, ESPN kept this up all last night. Their Minute 13 story. Always educated about how ESPN used timestamps to mock. The Steelers and Patriots became 11-3 after yesterday's loss. Steelers 1-3. Tom Brady's now 11-2 against the Steelers all time. If they meet in the championship, AFC championship, or somewhere in the playoffs, it'd probably be the AFC championship. If they meet in the AFC championship and lose, if the Patriots lose, I still expect the Patriots to be in the Super Bowl, but if I'm wrong, I've said all year, if I'm wrong about the Patriots, it's going to be the Steelers. Steelers owner Dan Rooney died 98 days before his 85th birthday. It's the 98th season of the NFL, 85th for the Patriots. For Steelers. 98th season for the NFL, 85th for Steelers. Dan Rooney died 98 days before his 85th birthday. Died on the 103rd day of the year. Steelers has ordinal gematria of 103. Anyway, if Brady loses to the Steelers in the playoffs, he'll be 11-3 against them. It could happen. This was the year of the 113th World Series. From the end of the 113th World Series to the AFC Championship game is 81 days. And again, Pittsburgh Steelers equals 81. You know, it was number 81 who blew it at the goal line yesterday. You want to see another riddle? Number 81, Jesse James, didn't secure the ball as he went to the ground. He reached for the goal line, and when he hit the ground, the ball shifted. So they said incomplete. And here's what's funny about that. My blog readers, people with actual brains, if you guys want to learn from people with brains, follow my blog. There's a lot of trolls there, but there's also smart posters who do meaningful work. And somebody went to work on Jesse James, the bank robber in history. Jesse James is who blew it at the goal line. The Steelers got robbed at home. Jesse James. Notice Jesse James died on the 93rd day of the year. Minneapolis, Minnesota equals 93. It's on the 93rd meridian. Sheriff Timberlake is who pursued Jesse James. Justin Timberlake doing the Super Bowl halftime show by the numbers. The day he was announced as the person for the show, it was 239 days before the Super Bowl, the 52nd prime. I covered that then. But here's Ben, young high school student who's gotten my work for a couple years now. Smarter than most of you retards out there. Good for the youth. He noticed where the gang's last bank robbery took place was Northfield, Minnesota, which equals 103. Like Steelers, like how their owner died, or partial owner Dan Rooney on the 103rd day of the year. He also noticed from what would have been Jesse James, the bank robber's most recent birthday, until this was yesterday's game with Jesse James, was 103 days. And understand, like I've said, they're farming these athletes. They're growing them like cattle on the ranch. They're birthing them accordingly. They're naming them accordingly, all for the scripted future, because all of the world of sports is scripted way out. Tom Brady was born to be. He became the starter at Michigan in 98. Anyway, what are the odds of all of this syncing up so perfectly with Jesse James, the Steeler, which the play came down to, and then Jesse James, the bank robber? It's impossible. But this stuff happens again and again when you know history and you know the code. You see this through the scripting, left and right. The Patriots take over after 9/11 and the Patriot Act. Team that was never good in the history of the NFL. So Ben did more great work. I'll link these posts. Follow my blog. Also, with regards to it being number 81 who blew it, that happened on the day the Pope turned 81 years old, who blessed last year's Super Bowl. The Steelers owned by Jesuits. Tom Brady, a Jesuit. The Falcons owned by Jesuits. The Pope, the first publicly Jesuit Pope. You know, he blesses the Super Bowl last year. His Patriots win. His Patriots win yesterday on his 81st birthday because 81 couldn't secure the ball going to the ground, which he was probably told to do exactly what he did. They probably rehearsed that play all week. It's what they do at practice. Rehearse. And if you guys have followed my primetime predictions this year, you know, I've only gotten 2 wrong, and I know I've gotten over 30 right. So think about that win-to-loss ratio. And I don't do this for gambling or to make money. I'm not here for the fake juju paper, you know? I'm here to start the revolution, to get all you worthless fucking losers off your ass, investing all your time in these rigged sports games, spending your whole week filling out your fantasy roster like that matters. How about wake up and look where you live and help me fight back, pussies? Huh? See, I want to use that FAG word because it's what y'all are. Bunch of FAGs. Taking it up your ass, watching these rigged sports games because you're too fucking stupid to see through it. Too fucking dumb to acknowledge what I show every week because you can't count past 5, dumb motherfuckers. Can you count to 12, dipshits? Look at this. Wrote yesterday why the Cowboys were going to win. And I told my man Darrell at the beginning of the week, who's a big Raiders fan, who knows it's all rigged, but he just can't get over his Raiders. Said it doesn't look good. Cowboys will be taking it. Raiders lead 6-5 with the Cowboys win. It'll be 6-6 all time and on a date with 66 numerology. And if you pay attention every week, it's this way. The matchups are synced with the date, meaning that they were all scheduled this way on purpose. 6 and 6 on the date with 66 numerology. Plus, it's always the team with the 39 connection that wins. Cowboys equal 39 like Sunday Night Football's 39. Yesterday had the life lesson number at 39. What happened yesterday? Well, before we get to how the game ended, let's talk about this too. The piece of paper. The piece of paper, why did that happen? For a Cowboy first down, look at the gematria overlap between paper and Cowboy. You see it? You see the overlap in 3 of the 4 base methods? That's why they brought out the piece of paper to give the Cowboys a first down. Yesterday also had the 29 numerology connection. More mocking, all part of the script. Create something for the idiots to talk about around the water cooler who still haven't put 2 and 2 together. You know? Have you noticed most of you go to jobs where you're pretty much meaningless? You're like punching a button for a computer. You're filling out some paperwork that nobody's ever going to look at. This whole society's set up to waste your time. You know? Steal your time, your wealth. The reason you work these meaningless jobs is for all the tax revenue it generates for the tyrants. You know, they have us all running around like lab mice. When the lab mice chill out, they watch the rigged sports game. So anyhow, end of the game with 39 seconds, you get your typical fake injury. Had number 59 with the fake injury. Before this happened, I was telling Darrell, I said, I think somehow the Raiders aren't going to score, even though they were right down near the goal line. I said it makes too much sense for it to end 20-17 with 37 combined points because that's the 12th prime number. So I was thinking there'd be some fumble or interception. They ended up doing a touchback through the end zone, obviously scripted. Derek Carr purposefully threw the ball through the back of the end zone. You have to be fucking retarded to not see what happened. So, again, it's all about 39. You get the fake injury at 39. Notice the down was 3rd and 3. Notice, Cowboys has the gematria of 33, and you break out your S exception, also 39. See? 3rd and 3, 39 seconds, Sunday Night Football. Derek Carr is hitting the back of the legs here. It's just, if you watch this play, I have the video from it last night, it's so obvious he's letting go of the ball. I mean, he already had the first down. He could have just ran out of bounds. Plenty of game clock left. Would have been over 30 seconds left. I think the Raiders still had a timeout at this point. They need a field goal to send it to overtime. Obvious scripting. And again, this play began with 39 seconds on the clock. This is what they practice for all week. This fucked over all the bettors. This is why the betting lines are always so perfect. This is why, these betting lines just always heartbreak for bettors in the closing moments. They had to put up the 40-second timer. Raiders has the gematria of 47. The 15th prime is week 15. Mocking. Then all these sexual scandal stories. Then all of a sudden, an owner's going to sell his team because there's these new sexual allegations. Another 80-year-old man. Just a joke. Just a joke. And it's the Black Panthers. Remember, they just used the Black Panther symbolism in Super Bowl 50. Told everybody in October before Super Bowl 50 it'd be Broncos over Panthers. Von Miller would be the MVP. There'd be a Black Panther tribute. All of that happened. That's why there's a USA Today article written about me, trying to make fun of me, trying to discredit me. What did I tell you all long before the game was played? Cam Newton would become the 58th starting quarterback in a Super Bowl. Huey P. Newton equals 58, who established the Black Panther Party in the Bay Area. It's exactly what happened. Then Cam Newton forgot how to recover his own fumble sitting on his shoelaces. Obvious scripting. Biggest game of his career, doesn't want to pick up the football on his shoelaces, just wants to give up the game to number 58, Von Miller, who I said would be the MVP, the draft pick right after Cam Newton. Then you got your whole Colin Kaepernick bullshit Black Panther tribute that's been going on ever since by the same code. He was part of that same draft class. He was a pick for the Broncos that got sent to the 49ers. 49ers hosted that Super Bowl. Bay Area, Black Panther Party. All obvious scripting. Jerry Richardson, been the owner of the Panthers for 23 years. Football 83, the 23rd prime. They're saying Puff Daddy could possibly become the first black owner of the Carolina Panthers. Think about it. Puff Daddy, another agent, another New World Order agent for the game. And then there's Monday Night Football tonight. Look at this. It's going to be the 49th meeting all time between these teams. Whoever wins will get the 25th win. Why does that matter? Well, today's date has numerology of 49. What are the odds of the 49th meeting on a date with 49 numerology? This comes right after the Atlanta fire that messed up Atlanta yesterday, causing major problems today. Who's going to get the 25th win? This one's harder to tell because the numbers go both ways. If it does end up being Tampa Bay to win, they're at home. Remember that Tampa Bay equals 25. They could possibly get the 25th win all time. Tampa Bay also has gematria 47. Today's date also has the 47 connection. Derailment equals 47. You got the train derailing on the 47th parallel. If the Falcons lose, they'll be 8-6. Atlanta Falcons has the gematria of 86. We'll see what happens. I could make an argument either way. Sometimes these games are harder to call. But the point is, 49th matchup, date with 49 numerology. Again, you pay attention to the primetime games. It's just always synced this way. Shows you that it's all scripted and planned accordingly. So, last night's game easy to call. Today's game a little more challenging. If you guys don't think sports are scripted, again, you didn't pass the fucking retard double check. And I know the majority of you can never pass it because you're just fucking retarded. It's too bad. It's too bad that you're so fucking dumb. That's why in the Talmud it says most people are goyim. Goyim means worthless fucking loser, which is what all NFL fans are. Every NFL fan is a fucking goyim, period. Until next time.